The Polish pianist and composer Adam Kopyczynski wrote this little lullaby, Kołysanka, in the camp of Auschwitz I Stammlager while he was interned there. He was the conductor of the male orchestra in Auschwitz I, Lagerkapelle. Between 1933, the opening of the first Nazi concentration camp in Dachau, and 1953, with the death of Stalin, Europe was flooded in the most terrible chapter of human history. Millions of innocent people were deported or imprisoned in ghettos, camps, stalags, oflags, and gulags. Yet, in this place, something extraordinary happened. Musicians, singers, composers wrote, played, sang, and shared music, not in concert halls or in theaters, but in barracks, cellars, trains, and behind barbed wire. They wrote music on scraps of paper, notebooks, tissue paper, even toilet paper, all remembered by heart. In the darkest period of the past century, mankind activated a mechanism for preserving thought and action, unleashing an explosion of creativity. In the suspended time of the camps, this place became factories of dreams in continuous building, like Barcelona Sagrada Familia. Making music in civil and military captivity was like recreating vision and ideals, launching frozen energies, restoring the soul's architecture. Music was both an individual and collective strategy of salvation and resistance through beauty. It turned exasperating waiting into survival, helped to endure pain and illness, deleted apathy and resignation, provided mental and spiritual nourishment as important as physical food. Music created connection between people and time, replacing dangerous escapes from the camps with safe escapes into the imagination, offering a metaphorical and then real freedom. Europe was born in May 1938 in Vienna, on the platform of the train for Dachau, as thousands of deportees sang Beethoven's Ode to Joy, today the anthem of the European Union. The United Nations were born in 1943 in Sachsenhausen, where the deportees translated the hymns and songs in 8 languages so that everybody could understand and share their meaning. Jews and Roma, the most pan-European people, were those murdered in the extermination camps. In those sound camps, their music restored human dignity, and returning to them the European passports stripped away by deportation. No life in the camps was lost in vain. No melody must be lost. Every musical fragment must be preserved like living flesh. Returning this music to the world is like returning freedom to its composers. Because when there's no freedom, but there are paper and instruments become freedom. Look, who led the October 1943 revolt in the Sobibor extermination camp, ordering the Berber White to be torn down and the deportees to escape through minefield? Ukrainian Jewish musician Sasha Pechesky, an officer of the Red Army who saved nearly half of the deportees, forcing the SS to close Sobibor by the end of 1943. Who, in June 1945, took charge of the former deportees still closed in Theresienstadt, Terezin, Czechoslovakia, waiting for repatriation, and lead them to the Prague City Hall so someone will take responsibility? Czech musicologist Václav Hocknecht, a professor at the Prague Conservatory and later president of the Prague Spring Music Festival. Who sent postcards out of Sachsenhausen in which some syllables were deliberately written in wrong German, exposing medical experiments and the fate reserved for Jews and Soviet soldiers? Aleksander Kulichewicz, a Polish poet and singer of extraordinary mind, who memorized 716 songs entrusted to him by fellow deportees. Songs he repeated to himself over and over so as not forgetting them. Even during the previous Spanish Civil War, Pablo Casals traveled the country with his cello, and when asked why he continued to play during those black days, he answered that it's in such moments that the people need music. Music lives in the air, not the musician. Musicians are bound hands and feet to the art, enduring trials and injustices, until they achieve a miraculous synthesis, turning everything to form, sound, and art. The musician was, is, and always will be on the front lines of the history's most tragic events. Since 1988, I devoted my life to rediscovering, preserving, and sharing everywhere this music, meeting survivors as well as the sons and daughters of people who wrote music in the camps. After recovering more than 10,000 scores, today gathered at our institute in Italy, we can proudly say that this music is one of history's most precious legacies. This music is a monumental chapter of the universal literature. According to my calculations, between 1933 and 1953, around 130,000 musicians were deported in civil and military captivity. A true civilization not only preserves its stones, columns, and scrolls that resist wind, water, fire, and art, but also protects its artistic and musical heritage. In a few years, the citadel of concentrationary music will rise in Barletta, my town, Italy, with the support of the Italian Minister of Culture. We are waiting for this project to become marble, iron, shales, and open doors for everybody who loves the most tragically brilliant music of the past century. It's said in Hebrew, Bemotav zivulanu et hachaim. With their death, they ordered us to live. Recovering this music is an ultimate mission. It means rebuilding schools and hospitals destroyed by war and restarting educational projects. The mitzvot, the commandments given to the Jewish people, are 613. After the Holocaust, the Jewish philosopher Emil Frankenheim suggested a new commandment, number 614. Do not grant Hitler a posthumous victory. Liberating this music from the concentration camps is a democratic goal. So, help me carry this testament of the heart into the future. Let's open the gates of a new library of Alexandria. Let's claim the monuments of the concentrationary universe. Like many people, I hope to leave behind a world better than the one I found, and this music is the key. The Polish poet Leonard Krasnodębski wrote in Sachsenhausen, music is a spontaneous human gesture that lasts forever. This musician had a deep faith in humanity, and despite the horror, they had a wonderful dream of beauty. This music is offering to us a great, unrepeatable gift. The time to repay their trust has come. This music, preserved through the work of our institute, will be the healing balm our society longs for in the next few years. We must unveil and share this music with future generations. To close this speech, I play for you a very last work. Is a little mazurka. It's very similar to Chopin, but it's not Chopin. It has been written in the Warsaw ghetto by Władysław Szpilman, the famous pianist that is also in the film, The Pianist by Polanski. Playing Chopin was forbidden to Jews pianists. So Szpilman wrote a mazurka that is in Chopinian atmosphere, but is not Chopin, is Szpilman.